It's time for Motivation with Marissa. I'm Marissa Mitchell. Today's guest is an award-winning public servant, community advocate, and political leader known to many of you here in the DMV, DC, even more. Wanda D. Lockridge, welcome.
Thank you so much for having me. It's
A
so
woman
great to
of
see
many
you.
hats.
Well, I try. Every now and then you have to shift a little bit.
You got it, but you've certainly had a lifelong love for service, right?
Absolutely.
Where did that come from?
So actually, it started really early. I was elected. I was in the community with these community activists, and this one gentleman say, "You need to run for ANC." And I was like, "What is an advisory neighborhood commission?" I had no idea. Just coming out of high school, I had 3 things on my list. It was a high school graduate from Ballou Senior High School, an Award 8 resident, and I won. And I won. And
it made history, I should say.
Yeah, I was the youngest ANC commissioner at the time elected in DC. And so from that point, it's just like really history. Once you get in it, it's hard to get out of it. And I just love my community. I love Ward 8. Absolutely.
What is something we don't know about Ward 8 that you wish more people did or talked about more?
For Ward 8, for me, it really is like family there. I would not live anywhere else in the DMV. I mean, when we need something, we come to each other, we support each other. And yes, we have some, sometimes we have some things that we disagree on, but we come back together and we love each other. It's a beautiful, we have the best parks in Ward 8, Oxen Run Park, where to travel, Anacostia Park, the trails that we have there, incredible.
And you're right, it feels like you never met a stranger when you're there.
No.
I've even felt
Yeah.
that being there, particularly in the Anacostia area. So it started with the ANC commissioner, but you've done so much more. So walk me through that journey.
Sure. So from ANC commission and with William Lockridge, who believed in me, who my late husband believed in everything that I did, he was like, "Wanda, you should run for the state committee." And I was like, "William, that's not my thing, right?" And so I became the chair of the DC Democratic State Committee. I then left there after 2 years and worked for an organization that took me to Africa in 2006, which made me fall in love with Africa. And from that point on, I've been to Africa. I go at least once a year to Africa. And now I have a foundation named after my late husband, the William O. Lockridge Community Foundation. And it is important for me to have our young people to see Africa from their own lens. And so this past July, we went to Angola. Before that, we went to Madagascar. So we've been to 5 countries. And every time we go, we learn something extremely different because every country has something to offer, something different. I remember our first cohort, it was Cameroon. We went to it was a rubber factory. And so in this rubber factory, you see how they actually build or how they create rubber. So you have this tree and the latex is there. Depending on how long the latex is there, rubber on our shoes, rubber on our tires. So Africa it's just really amazing. It's a rich culture there. And then we learn about ourselves as well. So that's what I've been doing. I served at the Chief of Staff at the Ward 8 Council Office. And so, I try to do a little bit of this and a little bit of that.
And you're right. Africa is certainly multidimensional, and I don't think people honor that to the degree that they should. Did you ever have a moment, because I've never been, that's actually on my bucket list.
Okay, next year you have to go with us.
Give me the dates.
Okay.
Give me the dates.
It's always in July. I'm going to hold you to it.
Did you cry your first time? Because I often hear that story, particularly when it comes to African Americans.
I didn't cry, but what I did feel when we were in Cameroon, I did my DNA. And so on my maternal side, I'm from Cameroon. So I call myself Camerican.
I love it.
And so we went to a village, a T-car village, and I had been looking around. It's like, where my eyes, where my nose, where my legs come from. And when we left there, one of the chiefs says, "Look at her nose. Her nose is like," I felt such a welcoming in a place that I really belonged. It was a belonging for me. So I didn't cry, but I felt this like, I'm here, I'm home. I'm here where my ancestors struggled and, left their homeland to come to the Americans. So,
The connection was clear.
Oh my gosh, the connection was definitely clear,
So talk about this foundation, because I know it honors your late husband and the work that he did. There were so many ways that you could have honored him. Tell me about the process of deciding to do it this way.
So William passed in January of 2011. I had just come back from Cameroon. One day I was home and he had a major stroke. And so when we were talking about, and I had no idea what to do. So my friends and families, they came forward and just really planned everything. And so one of the things I said I wanted to do was not to do flowers because it would just die so fast. So if you all wanted to do anything, make a contribution where we can give a scholarship to a student at Ballou Senior High School. And so we said, okay, we'll do $1,000 in scholarship. That year we did for $1,000 in scholarship. The community just rallied around the support. And I'm thinking, I'm done, I'm good, I'm not doing this anymore because I have a full-time job, I'm good. And, you know, family and friends said, why do you have to continue to do this? And then we had no plan, had no business plan, nothing. We just hit the ground running. And we started just basically doing scholarships, and we're in our 15th year. And now we are expanding to our International Ambassador Program, which I'm taking kids to. And when they come back, it's amazing how it just changed their whole trajectory. Some who have thought about careers in some other places now think of careers as ambassadors. And so again, for us, if we don't expose our young people to something, they don't know that is there. So exposure is everything for our young people. So we concentrate on middle school, high school, from Ward 7 and 8.
Wow. So you've done it long enough, since 2011, yeah. Right? To see the scope and the depth of the people you've touched.
Yeah.
Any stories come to mind of where those kids eventually end up?
Absolutely. This one young lady who, I mean, because we do this program where they talk about the different kinds of ambassadorships that you can go to. So one of the ladies in Benin who went to us in Benin, she's come back and she said to her mother, this is what I want to do. We went to a village called Gandhi, and all of these places are on stilts. They're on water. The whole village is on water. And she said, I see how they struggle, but they love it. Even though they have so much less than what we have, they hustle, there's no complaining. And so also to give them that mindset as well, to come back and say, I have to do better. I know I can do better. I've seen what they do with little, and we have so much more. So just to hear those stories at the end of the day, how they want to just change their life, how they just begin to excel in school even, because they see, you know, our kids in Africa, they thirst for knowledge, and sometimes even they have to pay for school. Some countries you have to pay for school. And we over here, one of the individuals said, and this was interesting because we also have students on the ground there that travel with our students. And so they do a comparison. They do, you know, the likes and the dislikes. And they said, you know, I didn't know that you all had Nikes over here. I mean, and so again, and they still have long-term relationships now. And one of the students there said, but you all take education for granted. You take it for granted. We wish we had that. And so just open their minds to soft skills. I mean, they have to journal every day. So when they come back, they can talk to their students, they can talk to their parents. And just begin, because now it's their responsibility. It's their ambassadors now. It's their responsibility to talk about Africa, to talk about the richness of Africa, to say you need to know where you come from. So because, you know, we're trying to erase a lot of stuff, our history, and so we have to have it here. We have to have it there.
Yeah, if you don't know your history, you're bound to repeat it.
You're bound to repeat
so
the history.
You need to know.
Absolutely, absolutely.
When you mention Ward 8 and being a proud native and resident, and you've done political things there, I feel like sometimes when we have these dividers of the wards, we kind of break ourselves up in these silos. And there are some people go, well, that's their problem over there. Yeah. Why should we all get involved in what happens to all of us across all 8 wards?
If it happens to me, it can happen to you. And if we don't come together, there's a saying I saw, if one of us is not free, none of us are free. And so, you know, it's interesting because coming up here, we were talking about light, because I was really trying to get here, how there are no real camera lights up here. In Ward 8, we have camera lights almost every other block. And so just the difference in how we are treated in, you know, east of the river versus other parts. And we're considered the less than least. We always get the last of everything. Economic development. We talk about 2 grocery stores in our community. Okay, we have 3 now. No. Yeah, because now we redistricted, so we have the other 2 that's on the other side of the river. But on the east side of the river, there's 1 grocery store for 700,000 people. And so we just have to do better, because if you're doing okay, then I'm gonna do better. Just lift each other up. Just lift each other up. So, yeah, and so for your answer, I think, you know, it's important that we all just strive, because we in a time right now that we are all struggling. Whether you're east of the river or west of the river, we all have the same challenges. And so coming together with some kind of strategic plan that we're supporting one another is going to be extremely important.
Each one teach one.
Each one teach one.
You know, I always end these segments, since it is Motivation with Marissa.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm going to end on this one. Wanda, what's keeping you motivated these days? Through it all.
Through it all, it really is the young people. I strive for young people. I learn from them. They teach me a lot, even though I've been out here quite a bit. When they are talking, and I have granddaughters, they are 7 years old. I learn from these little 7-year-olds. So what motivates me is to make sure that our next generation is prepared and that we're doing everything, because someone definitely lifted me up, gave me an opportunity, and so we have to do the same thing. So just seeing when they come back and they get the scholarships and they call me, it's hard work. It really is hard work, but when you see the out and the end results, you just like, okay, you just did your little part. And if we all just do our little part, then I think we're gonna be okay.
Every little bit helps. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for all that you've done and what you're continuing to do.
Thank you
We're
so
all better
much.
for it.
I really appreciate this time. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.